Rose, it's Monday, February 2nd. Let's talk about population health. It's been on and off in the news for a few weeks, but in December, some children were exposed to the measles virus at Disneyland in California. Since that exposure, there have been, so far, 94 cases of measles in the US. Measles has been considered eliminated in the US since 2000, but every year there are still about 10 or 20 cases imported from other countries where the virus is more common or where treatment is less available. This elimination was possible because the virus is quite easily nullified when mass vaccination is used, and measles vaccinations have been standard for kids in America since the 60s. Measles can be really dangerous. 28% of children who get measles requires hospitalization. That's 1 in 4. And 1 out of every 500 kids with measles will die. Luckily, complete immunization is as easy as 2 simple doses of the vaccine, usually one when you're 1 year old and another when you're about 12, and then you're immunized for your entire life. Super easy. This is hugely important because on top of already being a horrible disease, the measles is the most infectious virus known to man. It has a 90% transmission rate. Someone who is infected with measles, on average, will spread that virus to 12 to 18 other people. That's like all of my friends. We would all have the measles if one of us had the measles. It's like back in class when your teacher would say if you want to bring candy, you gotta bring enough for everyone. Measles wasn't messing around. Measles brought enough candy for everybody. Little virus candies. This high virality is because the virus can remain airborne, and it can survive airborne for more than 2 hours. This means that you can get the measles from somebody who has the measles just by being at the same place they were at like a few hours later. Just by breathing the same air. That's terrifying. This sounds like something from an apocalypse movie. So, how have we been able to keep such an infectious virus at bay? Well, curious YouTube viewer, I will tell you. It's with herd immunity. Herd immunity is the idea that a large population can avoid a widespread outbreak if enough of the population is immunized to the disease. We have the tendency to think that I'm being immunized for my safety or my child is being immunized for their safety, but we usually overlook the fact that becoming immunized not only keeps you from getting a disease, but it also keeps you from giving that disease to somebody else. So you're not only helping yourself, but you're also helping everyone and the population as a whole. That's like 3 helps. 3 helpings of awesome pasta. 3 helpings of awesome pasta. Because of the trait of measles to be highly viral, the immunization rate for the virus is 95%. This means that 95% of the entire population needs to be immunized to prevent an outbreak. Unfortunately, there are a few problems with this number. First, the number assumes that there's random mixing within the population, which is not realistic. For instance, I have a much higher chance of getting a disease from someone in my own town than I do a stranger in Florida. So your community plays a really big part. Southern California ended up being at a higher risk for an outbreak because of their culturally higher use of alternative medicine and the refusal of some families to vaccinate their children. Wah, wah. Which brings us to another big problem with the 95% immunization number, being that it makes people think that vaccination can be skipped because enough other people are getting vaccinated, so I don't need to get vaccinated, which is absolutely stupid and also very, very selfish. Like 95% of everyone needs to be immunized, but there are certain people who for whatever reason can't be. For starters, children who are too young to get vaccinated are at a huge risk, but there are also people with certain conditions that keeps them from being able to get vaccinated or from building an immunity from the vaccination. All of these people easily add up to the 5% of the population that can go without getting vaccinated and still be safe, provided we still get everyone else vaccinated. So, to simplify this entire video down into just one little thought, if you or your child physically can get immunized by means of the measles vaccine, then you need to. Otherwise, you are putting those who can't in grave danger. So, be a hero, get immunized, and Rose, we will see you on Wednesday. And that's all I got to say. Bye.